Hello students. Today, let us take up a topic, ecological succession, a very relevant topic about the present scenario. To know this in detail, let us first know what is succession. Succession generally refers to the act of repeated following up of one by another in order of time at a given space. Although a typical community maintains itself more or less in equilibrium with the prevailing conditions of the environment, in nature this is hardly true. Communities are never stable. They are dynamic, changing more or less regularly over time and space, which may be due to the variation in climate and physiographic factors and the activities of the species itself. In general, the communities or plants at any place modify the environment because of their presence and biological activities and is usually less suitable to the existing community. As such, better suited community of plants and animals replaces it. This new community again modifies the environment in such a way as to make conditions less suitable to itself. Thus, changes takes place continuously in the community structure, organization, the physiognomy, the associated animals and the environment at a place in the course of time, and this phenomenon is called the so-called ecological succession. Now coming to what are the causes of succession? It may be distinguished as initial cause. So in initial cause, it involves the formation of bare areas or destroying the original population in areas already populated. It may be topographic factors, edaphic factors, rather soil factors, or climatic or biotic activities. The second cause may be echesis. It involves the germination, growth, and reproduction of organisms. The third factor or the cause is stabilization. It involves aggregation, invasion, and ultimately stabilization, where climate of the area plays a very important role. Now, stages of succession. The most essential requirement in the process of succession is the migration of the plants and the animals from the surrounding areas. The migrants are known as pioneers, or rather the first settlers. In the first stage of succession, the pioneers adjust itself to the environment and multiply later on. Thus, there lies a competition among the animals and plants for existence, which resulted in the gradual decrease in the number of pioneers. The changed environment becomes unsuitable for the growth and spread of the existing organism, so that these animals and plants die due to the arrival of fresh organisms. The environment now becomes suitable for the growth of next group of invaders. So these are called serial communities, which constitute the serial stages in succession. Again, the changed environmental condition brings about the unsuitable conditions for these organisms. In this way, the development of communities progress, and the number of new arrivals at each stages goes on decreasing till the climax stage is reached. Here you can collaborate a little bit about the survival of fittest theory and many other theories where the serial community stages are being developed. Now, you can know about the hypothetical representation of the stages of succession, which is as follows. According to the natural succession which is occurring in the environment, we can subdivide the ecological succession into two aspects. One is the hydroseric succession and another is the xeric succession. So I'm giving you an example about the hydroseric succession. In the hydroseric succession itself, the name itself indicates that it starts from the water. And now what will be the climax community? You will find that it goes till to the terrestrial stage. So now you can see in the stage the A diagram, there is a water body, obviously a pond. Here you find fishes, snails, which are found inside the water. Now, according to the siltation process, the water size gets decreased and the macrophytes try to invade the area. So vegetations of the plants which can grow in the marshy areas, they invaded the area. So now with the onset of coming of the invaders, slowly the water body loses its status. And in the second diagram, you can see the plants growing there. So these plants, they decompose and the organic nutrients get enriched. With the enrichment of the nutrients in the water body, other bigger plants, they again invade. So in this way, the cereal stages, which I have shown you in the hypothetical process of cereal 1, cereal 2, cereal 3, now it is coming to the cereal number 3. So now in the fourth diagram, you can see almost the pond is being converted into a marshy areas or rather a wetland status. So here you will find bigger plants or rather higher plants category coming up. Here you will see the species which can grow in the marshy areas. Now slowly the other higher forms of animals which are suitable to exist in a terrestrial habitat comes in. So ultimately this pond or rather you say the hydrosere is now converted into a terrestrial or rather a forest vegetated area is being converted. So these stages you can see, and we can this natural process is being taking place in the environment, and because we have already stated that it is a dynamic process and it can never be stopped. Only thing is the longevity of the time. So the process from pond to water body to the terrestrial, it does not go in a mere span of 10 years. It goes on with a span of 40 years, 50 years span. But with the onset of our human intervention, this process is being fastened. So that is the only worry. And in the Manipur context, you can see the many water bodies which are losing its water body status and converting into land status. So you can name some of the water bodies like Lumphel-Pat, Porompat, which are now being converted into land area or rather agricultural area. These are all ecological succession which is going on in Manipur context. Coming to the process of succession, it involves 5 steps. The first step, nudation. It is the development of a bare area without any form of life, which may be formed by landslides, erosion, or any other catastrophic agencies, including earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, etc., which makes the land barren. Next, that is invasion. It is the successful establishment of a species in a barren area. The whole process of invasion is completed in 3 phases, that is migration, echesis, and aggregation, competition, and coaction. After aggregation of a large number of individuals of the species at a limited place, there develops competition, mainly for the space and nutrition. Now, when the competition comes up, reaction follows, continues. So in reaction, the mechanism of the modification of the environment through the influence of living organisms on it is known as reaction. As a result of reactions, changes takes place in soil, water, light conditions of the environment, and due to all this, the environment is becoming modified and unsuitable for the existing community, which sooner or later is replaced by another community. Then the last final stage of stabilization. Here, in this stage, the final terminal community, which is befitting the other communities, becomes more or less stabilized for a longer period of time, and it can maintain itself in equilibrium with the climate of the area. Basic types of ecological succession includes primary succession. It starts from the primitive substratum where there was no previously any sort of living matters. Number 2, secondary succession. It starts from previously built up substrata with already existing living matters. Third, autogenic succession. Community itself modifies its own environment and causing its own replacement by new communities. Fourth, allogenic succession. Replacement is caused by any other external conditions and not by the existing organisms. Fifth, autotrophic succession. As the name indicates itself, it begins with predominantly inorganic environment and the energy flow is maintained indefinitely. So Heterotrophic succession is almost reverse. It begins in a predominantly organic environment and there is a progressive decline in the energy content. So, ecological succession is a dynamic phenomenon which is undergoing in the nature. The only concern or worry is how fast we are contributing to this process, knowing the fact that we human beings' interventions are leading to so many grievances in the natural process of our ecosystem. Thank you.